What is going on, my lovely, lovely friends? Candace B here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for coming to my channel. Welcome. Hello if you're new. How are you doing? If you are returning, hi. Nice to see you. You look beautiful. All of you guys just look great. Okay. And I'm so grateful for you guys. As usual, you already know I'm very, very excited for you to be here. Today we're switching it up a little. I know these past couple of videos I've been just kind of doing trade reviews and whatnot, because the markets have been blessing us, and not to say there are not mistakes, a lot of mistakes that have been happening, but we are improving and that is all that matters. Praise God. So today I'm going to be doing a reaction video, and I feel like I haven't done one in a very, very long time. If you are an OG subscriber, you know that that was something I used to always do. I've been noticing that there's been a lot more trading related videos. I mean, maybe it's just more recommended videos for me, but I love to see the content. Anytime someone comments on my videos and is like, oh, I'm inspired to make content, I'm like, do it, please do it. Be creative. God gave you a talent, so do it. Be creative. So that is awesome to see. And today's video is going to be by none other than Mr. Raja Banks Rakeel. He is always dropping the gems, so I'm really excited to watch this video. And this video is entitled "Stuck at Break Even in Trading?" Watch this. Say less. Say less. That being said, let's get into this video.
So, Mr. Bobblehead, why do you think people get stuck at the break-even stage? So my name is Raja. I'm founder of Dominion Markets and Dominion Funding, and I want to tell you a story. Now, this story is not going to be something about some trader who won big and he lost less, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a story about me. When I first started, I knew that all I have to do is to make a trading plan. And I believe everyone can make a great trading plan. Everyone has the ability to make a very, very profitable trading plan. But very few people have the ability to follow that trading plan. Now, let me tell you what happens when you start to follow your trading plan. When you follow your trading plan...
Guilty. I'll be the first one to raise my hand. That comment was about me. Making a trading plan, a great one, and not always sticking with it. Yep, guilty.
You get stuck at a break-even stage. In the beginning, when I first started, I was wildly profitable. I'm not going to say I was losing in the beginning. I was wildly profitable. I was making money. The first 5 to 6 months, I made money. And when I made money, and now you got to understand this, whenever you're making money that way, something inside you tells you that if you have a job at the same time, and if you're making, let's say like $3,000 or $4,000 from your job, and now from your trading, you're making $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, or let's say even $2,000-$3,000 a week, you start to think, man, I have really broke out of this matrix, as they would say. But you say that, okay, now I'm going towards a path of financial freedom. Because when you open up your chart and you take a trade and you win some money, I would say in the beginning, whenever you win some money, those are accidental wins. And when you have those accidental wins, you start to think, man, this is a money printing concept, a money printing machine I have.
I feel like we've also all been there too, or most of us have been there, when you make your first $10, $100, couple hundred, you're like, yo, honestly, that is why I've blown so many accounts in the past, is because I would be trading well and then something would change in my mind and I'd be like, dang, I'm making all this money. Let's start acting stupid. And then I start acting stupid. But yeah, definitely the mindset of, oh wow, this is a money-making machine. That concept definitely ran through my head for sure.
Which will continue on making money, and then you start to make these plans. You start to make these plans about these wild vacations. You start to make these plans about, retiring your parents and this and this and this and that. And then after a while, that honeymoon period of making money comes to an end. And what happens when that honeymoon period comes to an end? You start to make more losses. You start to make losses, and the strategy that you were following in the beginning, you start to question that strategy. You start to think, man, I had the strategy, I was following the strategy, I was making money in the beginning, but now I'm not making money, I'm losing money. And as you're losing money, now you start to look at other people who are making money and start to think that, okay, maybe I need to learn that from that someone. Maybe I need to learn that new strategy.
Oh my gosh, literally, that is literally what happens. You start to question everything. He is speaking facts, because you never look at yourself. You never look at yourself like, could it be me? You always start, well, I know beginner traders or just kind of people who have not really mastered their mindset, they'll say, it's the strategy. I need to change my strategy. I know a lot of us have been there. Oh my gosh, it's so true. And then you want to look for another strategy when it's really it's you. It's really just you.
That ICT, FVG, LLC, LTD, whatever that is, you start to focus on learning those strategies, but at the same time, you're stuck at that break-even stage. And I was stuck at that break-even stage as well. For a very long time, I was stuck at a break-even stage. And while I was stuck at that break-even stage, I did a lot of things which you traders are doing right now as well. I was bouncing from mentors to mentors. I was bouncing from strategies to find that next breakthrough that's going to make me money again. Right, Mr. Bobblehead? That's what happens. But what I realized is, at that time, I needed to look at my history. I needed to see that, okay, what was happening? Because I can guarantee you this, as you're watching this video, open up your history. Open up your history, trading history right now. Open up your trading history if you're consistently losing. And what you will find out, you will see that you have more losses than your winners. You will find out that your losses are way bigger than your winners. Right? And if your losses are way bigger than your winners, it's not like your strategy is not working. It's maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe as price comes to your stop loss, you're removing the stop loss. As price comes to your stop loss, you're extending your stop loss because of
Guilty. Again, guilty. Definitely. I mean, I've admitted in the last couple of videos where I've moved my stop loss or I didn't accept the risk. Just a very, very primitive, very beginner mistake, but we've all been there.
At the same time, you're winning the same amount. Let's say you have $1,000 account and you're aiming for $50, $80 or $100. And if you're making $50 consistently, but you're losing $200 or you're losing $100 or you're losing $70, that means your losses are way bigger than your wins. That's where you're stuck at the break-even stage. It takes a very long time for you to realize this, that, okay, if my losses are bigger, what do I have to do? There's one thing that people focus on when your losses are bigger. Whenever your losses are bigger, you try to say that, okay, maybe I need to have bigger wins. Maybe now I need to switch towards a swing trading strategy, right? And all this other stuff that you may find on the internet, that, okay, I have to switch to a swing trading strategy. I have to switch to this new smart money concepts that's going to make my dumb trader brain super smart somehow, and then I'm going to be able to make some money. No, that's not going to work. That's a fallacy which we all fall into after a while as we start to lose money over and over again, right? So if your losses are bigger, the only thing which you need to do is to make sure how can you lose less. Because think about it, right? Really, let's just everyone just take a step back and think about it. If your winners are the same, if you're winning the same amount every time, but you're losing more because you're moving a stop loss or you're removing a stop loss, right? It makes no sense. If your winners are the same, how come your losses aren't the same as well? If your losses are the same, your winners are the same.
Clock it. If your winners are the same, why are your losers not the same as well? Okay. That kind of hit me in the face. Yeah, okay, we get it, Raquel. No, honestly, this is necessary to listen to. It's true, because if you were following your strategy, if you're following your risk management strategy, then it would be the same, wouldn't it be?
Same. Now you're at break even, right? Let's just agree to that fact. We all are at the break even stage, and that's the stage where we all get stuck for a very, very long amount of time. At that point, maybe in around 2017, 2018, I realized that the only way for me to get out of this break even stage is not to make sure my winners are big, but to make sure my losses are small. You get it? Because let's face it, in the markets, you're not going to be able to control how much money you're going to make. Your winners are always going to be the same. There's going to be very few increments. Like, let's say, okay, for example, you're focusing on 20 pips. You get 15 pips, 20 pips, you secure that, right? That's it. Sometimes you leave a runner running and that runner runs towards 30 pips, 40 pips, and accidentally you make some more money, right? That's it. For the most part, your winners are all the same. Now you have to take a look at your losses, and you need to identify that, okay, can I control my losses or not? Can I make sure that my losses can be small or not? Because let's face it, If price is running in profits, you cannot control how far it's going to go based on the range you have. Let's say, for example, your range on the charts is an 80 pip range. You have an 80 pip range. Out of that 80 pip range, you can easily get 20, 25 pips out of it, right? Now, you can't control how much more you're going to make. But when price goes in drawdown, that is something which you can control. You can always control your loss, because when price goes in drawdown, now it's up to you. How are you going to manage that risk? How are you going to manage that trade? Once price goes into drawdown, what are you going to do? Are you going to close 50%? Are you going to let price hit your stop loss? Are you going to move your stop loss? Are you going to remove your stop loss? That's the thing you got to focus on, because every time you're taking a trade, and trade, let's say, goes in profits of like 5 pips, 6 pips, and when it comes down to your break-even point, where your entry was, now you have to make a decision. Determine the outcome of that trade. Because, at the end of the day, if price is going in a drawdown, that's something you need to identify that, okay, can I really manage my risk at that point? It's all up to you now, right? Because if you can cut your losses short, let's say at 50% right there, and if price hits a stop loss, guess what happened? You have lost less than what you have planned.
See, Rakil, I feel like as long as I've known him or known of him, he's always just been on the ball with his mentality, because a lot of traders won't think to close 50% if their trade is going against them. But it makes sense, if you have 4, entries and you close 2 of them, let's say, even though price hits your stop loss, you have lost less. You could have lost a lot more money if you held those other 2 positions. But it's so much easier said than done, because we as humans are not programmed like that. We're not programmed to, cut losses short and, think we start to second guess ourselves. We start to lose confidence instead of just saying, okay, you know what, this is a trade. We can't control what the market does. Okay, I see it's going against me. Let me take half off, or let me close it earlier, whatever the case may be, something to mitigate your losses. We oftentimes don't think of that, and we don't think like that, and that is the biggest challenge, honestly.
So what we tell people, or we tell members or our clients in Market Fluidity University or in Dominion Markets or in Dominion Funding, what we tell them is like, hey, listen, the only way for you to get profitable and the only way for you to get out of this break-even stage, which is a stage where a lot of people get stuck in for a very long time, is to make sure to really manage your loss. Because my rule is this. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about my rule. My rule is this whenever I'm in a trade. Whenever price goes in profits of, let's say, like 8 pips, 9 pips, 10 pips, and when price comes to break even, I'm going to close 50%. I'm not going to wait around that price is at my break even stage and I'm going to hope that's going to go back in profits. No, if price goes in profits, comes back to break even, it's my responsibility to manage that trade. It's my responsibility to say that, okay, will I close 50% at that stage? And if price goes in drawdown, now I have to manage that. A lot of people, what you guys do is when price goes in drawdown, you guys are going to freeze. You're going to freeze and be like, oh, please go back up. Please go back in profits. Please go back in.
No. This used to be me. Now when things go into drawdown, when price goes into drawdown in my trades, I'm just very emotionless. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm very numb. I'm very numb to it. But before I oh my gosh, back in the day, I used to be like, oh my gosh, no, please. Now I'm just like, bruh. But no, that's so true. You really do just freeze and you're like, what do I do? No, please reverse.
Profits. No, why? Why do you want to do that, man? When the market puts you in a profitable position, but it hasn't hit your take profit, and it goes back to your break even, and then goes back in drawdown, it's now your responsibility how you're going to manage your account. Imagine your account is your grandmother's account and she passed away and she gave you your inheritance money.
God forbid. God forbids. God forbids. No, but that's crazy. What? This lady got a lot of money in her hands.
And she said, hey, Jacob, here's this money. Manage this money for me on the trade. Manage it. And what Jacob does, Jacob takes a trade and lets the whole account go in drawdown. What's your grandmother's going to think at that time? She's going to think, okay, Jacob's being irresponsible with my money and not managing risk and not making sure that he loses less than what he planned to lose? Or will Jacob say, okay, man, like price is coming in drawdown. After being in profits, I'm going to close 50%. If you close 50%.
No, I can't stop laughing at that, at that example. of Jacob and the grandma. Yo, that would be crazy to get an inheritance and then blow it all on a trade. Nah, God forbid, bro.
50% right there. And if you make this a habit, you're slowly going to move into a phase where you're going to be making sure your losses are smaller. Because I say this all the time to guys, that you can always control the amount of money you're going to lose, but you cannot control the amount of money you're going to make. That's all destined by the markets. The market is not controlled by us. It's controlled by the algorithms. And I personally think that the market has a personality of its own, right? So at the end of the day, whatever you have to focus on, whatever strategy you have, whatever trading plan you have, all that trading plan works. But if you are not making sure that you lose less than what you planned on losing, you will never, ever, ever get out of a break-even stage. This is the reason why a lot...
I like that. Lose less than what you even planned on losing. Is that what he said? Let's roll back.
Strategy you have, whatever trading plan you have, all that trading plan works. But if you are not making sure that you lose less than what you planned on losing, you will...
That's a bar. Lose less than what you plan on losing. Yeah. That's something I'm going to remember for sure.
Never, ever, ever get out of a break-even stage. This is the reason why a lot of you guys have funded accounts. You get your payouts. You get the first payout, the second payout, the third payout, the fourth payout. You screw everything over because you can't manage risk. You can't make sure that you can lose less. We have a lot of guys. So we have trading data of...
What happened to the audio?
To see that a lot of traders, they cannot manage their risk. They'll get a payout or like, they will get a withdrawal and then they will either blow their account or they will fail the challenge, not even on Dominion funding out there, right? This is something that we see across the board, right? So at the end of the day, you have a trading plan, stick to the trading plan, but then whenever you're taking a trade, always understand, let's say you have like a $5,000 account, always understand what your risk is on that one day. Are you willing to risk $200 per day or on that one day with your $5,000 account? Fine, perfect, risk $200. But always make sure you lose less than $200. The risk management techniques we have in Market Fluidity University and the ones we teach people in Dominion Markets and Dominion Funding, they're very simple. We tell you that, okay, if you're risking $200, there's a 80% probability that the market will give you an opportunity to lose less than $200. If you can lose less than $200, and if you can consistently make $200, guess what's going to happen to your outcome? You're going to be profitable. Even not by a whole margin, but at least you're not going to be losing. By a little margin, you're going to be profitable. And slowly and surely, as you get comfortable in managing risk, in making sure you lose less, you're going to get better and better and better day after day. Trust me. That's how I've done it. That's how a lot of clients members we have had Market Fluidity who've done it. That's like, when you see all these guys on the internet making money, making withdrawals, getting funded and getting payouts, they do it at the same time too. Because they know that for them to be profitable, they have to get out of a break-even stage. And for them to get out of a break-even stage, they have to understand that I have to lose less than what I've planned on losing.
Yeah. That was a really good video. Honestly, I really appreciate Rakil making that video just to remind us how important it is to manage your trade, manage your risk. It is so psychological. And I really, really like that point of just losing less than you already planned to lose. And as we go into the weekend and, hopefully we're all going to be back testing and reviewing the trades that we took this past week, that is something I definitely want to keep in mind as the new week starts, the new trading week. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, especially if you are someone who is stuck at the break-even phase of your trading. You are almost there. You're going to be profitable very, very soon, but this makes sense. It is really about losing less and just, sticking with how much you win, which we can't control at the end of the day, but we can control how much we lose. So yeah, shout out to Rakil for that. I've never taken his mentorship, but I used to watch him back in the day on his live webinars on YouTube. So yeah, I don't know if anyone is looking for mentorship, but maybe check him out. But other than that, y'all, thank you so much for stopping by again. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. And until the next video, I hope you have a splendid, amazing, spectacular, awesome day, week, and life.